disruptions happen when you think irrationally. Got a call from various ARMs from Bihar to switch off Wi-Fi. They said there's too much crowding happening. So many stories are there. Somebody was doing some online selling through public Wi-Fi, and we know the quality of education in those primary schools and all.
Absolutely.
So they used to come to some of the stations and study. There was a ranking wherein we were highlighted as not a secure network. Our network is now CII. People used to travel to Delhi to attend those programs.
Correct.
Kind of carbon footprint you are saving. The digital transformation is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So I see that AI has more potential in public sector and competencies as compared to private. I think digital India, to me, it is yet to arrive.
If you could identify one key area that India should focus on while strengthening its digital future, what would that be? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Boardroom by Veloxx Media, a space where India's most influential leaders share their experiences, insights, and vision for the future. Today, we are honored to be joined by Mr. Manoj Tandon, Director, RailTel Corporation of India Limited. RailTel has played a pivotal role in building and strengthening India's digital backbone through connectivity, cloud services, cybersecurity initiatives, and digital infrastructure projects that support both the Indian Railways and the broader Digital India mission. Today, we look forward to hearing Mr. Tandon's perspectives on digital transformation, cyber resilience, and the future of India's technology landscape. Welcome, Mr. Tandon. It's great to have you here with us today. Really looking forward to this great discussion with you. Before we go into the series of questions that we have listed for today, it'll be great if you can give us a sneak peek into this esteemed Navratna of India, right? So, and after that, we can definitely, and how your time has been with the PSU as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me for this interesting discussion. RailTel was born in somewhere in 2002 to monetize the limited telecom assets of Indian Railways. And that was a time when a lot of telecom transformations, a lot of new operators were coming in the market.
Right.
So the collaboration spirit was in our DNA since then. And there are a lot of operators who took our help because they were not having OFC across country. And we expanded quickly the network piece and also that partnership. Through partnership, we have grown together to this stage. We are a Navratna PSU and we are the only profit-making telecom PSU in the country.
That is really
And
impressive.
telecom is only one piece. We are doing so many other things, which even the world also does not know, because we are doing a lot of mission critical things we can't speak about at this moment in time. But I can also give you that some of the things which are related to digital transformation, whether it's asset monetization, whether it's a documentation digitalization, whether it's a high court cases digitalization.
Wow.
So there are so many things actually. I think time will fall short if I speak about every thread here. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Very, very warm welcome once again. I think let's dig further deep into the things that we have listed out that we want to know from you. You're quite right that RailTel is taking care of a lot of mission critical projects as well, which as much as we would be excited to know about, I know it's not something that under your purview to share, but still, I think the way digital transformation has been happening in India for the last half a decade, any story that you will share about a collaboration between the private and public sector is going to be really interesting for our audience to know, because I'm sure it's part of our daily routine to a very, very micro level as well. And I think once we'll realize how a Navratna like RailTel is working around it, I think that's going to be an eye opener for us. Let's begin.
So I'll talk about two important collaborations. One is our public Wi-Fi at railway station is well-known industry, and it is
Yes.
one of the largest footprint across country, and which runs across all the stations.
That's right.
6,000 plus stations. And the Wi-Fi journey started with the collaboration with Google in somewhere in 2015-16, wherein 400 stations, there was a collab between Google and us. Those are the time when the data price was very high, and Google wanted to increase the uptake of data users. So Google entered into partnership. Some of them was sponsored by Google, some of the equipment was sponsored by us. After that, there were many collaborations on the Wi-Fi space itself, including PGCL initiative, including USOF initiative, including Tata Trust initiative. So there were at least 5, 6 interventions which happened, after which the public Wi-Fi is available across all the stations.
That's right.
There are many success stories of public Wi-Fi. Few are known in the industry, wherein a coolie has become a PCS in Kerala.
Oh.
He was not having enough material of reading and all. He used to come to stations. Of course, he was a coolie, so
Correct.
he used to study on the public Wi-Fi. There are many villages wherein, especially in the Bihar side, where the broadband penetration was low. Because if you see, the public sector has different mindset actually. While making a healthy profit for sustainability, you always have something in mind to do something different for nation. And in those areas, students were not able to access, and we know the quality of education in those primary schools and all. So they
Absolutely.
used to come to some of the stations and study.
Wow.
In fact, I remember because I was handling operations at that time at the different level. And 2, 3 times I got a call from various DRMs from Bihar to switch off Wi-Fi. They said there's too much crowding happening in these
Really?
stations, and please switch off. Otherwise, we are not able to manage the crowd here. Of course, some of the things will be entertainment also.
Correct.
But what I'm saying that ultimately people used to come to stations, and there are so many stories are there. Somebody was doing some online selling through public Wi-Fi and all.
Wow.
And second thing is that our rail wire, which is rural, which is a broadband to home, FTTH. Now, the entire story of FTTH rail wire is collab between local cable operators and RailTel, where we had a lot of IT stuff at the back end and network, and they were wiring the homes
At the front end.
at the other end. Because in telecom, in fact, on all the business now, the last mile is very important.
Right.
People understood last mile from telecom. Last mile actually came from telecom only.
Really?
So they used to wire the last mile, and today we have around close to 11,000 LCOs, last mile cable operators, across country.
That's
It's a
massive.
successful micro entrepreneurship model. Incidentally, we covered 20,000 villages without any government support. So 20,000 villages, our broadband is there.
That is.
And network is across country, and there are many places where nobody is there and we are there. In deep areas, deep rural areas. So these are two collab which I want to quote, apart from so many other things where we collab with telecom operators or IT players also.
Indeed. I think all in all, collaboration till the last grassroots level,
Yes.
that would be one key achievement which I think the whole team of RailTel can boast upon, right?
And the collaboration, if it generates the micro entrepreneurship,
That's correct. Yes.
it actually creates a lot of indirect jobs and
It
livelihood
does.
also.
It does.
That's very important.
Moving ahead, so Mr. Tandon, with such kind of an opportunity, it does bring a lot of challenges as well, right? Now, RailTel manages one of the largest fiber networks in the country, and it's not an easy task, especially in a country like India. What are the biggest opportunities, or same opportunities as well as challenges, in managing such a large digital infrastructure?
Opportunities are, as I said, that typically the train track. In fact, most of us have strong memories attached to the childhood with the railways and all. And train passes through areas where the citizens live nearby. In fact,
Yes.
on a rough estimate, 70% of its population, country's population, live within 5 kilometers of train track.
Wow.
So that means those areas are accessible to us right from Kashmir. Now I can say Kashmir to
Kashmir as
Kanyakumari
well,
also
indeed.
actually.
Yes.
So the depth of the network or width of the network is available across country, and hence we were able to wire up a lot of homes where there was no 2G, 3G, 4G kind of thing.
Wow.
So that was the opportunity. Of course, there are agencies, security agencies, and all who are available in a lot of corners of the country. They also need to be served. So we could wire up, as I said, that a lot of operators could roll out their mobile operations on our fiber. So the biggest opportunity is that is the data center operators are typically different. There are examples of overlap between telecom, but we have one of the unique opportunities where the telecom connectivity and data center services are with us. So if we have to extend our data center services to somebody in even remote areas, remote states and all, our network is there to back
It's a
up.
possibility. It's,
It's a very positive thing.
yeah.
Otherwise, you have to depend on others.
Right.
And challenges, since we are managing the diverse geographies, I mean, you imagine the kind of geography in Northeast versus South and all.
Absolutely.
So managing this through our own people, through third-party contracts. We have always been very agile. Our on-roll people are something around 750 odd in entire country.
Wow. That's it. I think that's a,
Yeah. So, and then we are able to manage through off-roll people. So we have to manage the balance sheets also. We are a listed company.
wow.
A listed company. So we are on our own. We don't have any debts. We don't need any fund from third party. We are on our own feet.
It's all public
Yeah.
operation.
So the challenges are many in terms of managing the diverse geographies, and of course our parent organization keeps us on toes. So parent being parent, so they demand,
course.
they expect a lot of things from us.
But I think it's a child who's performing well as well. So
Yes.
I'm sure the parents are proud,
Yes.
right? Excellent. Now let's see the other side of the coin as well. Large infrastructure, a huge network that RailTel is managing, it does come with its own set of threats as well, right? That's where the cybersecurity becomes more and more important, right? Now, how does RailTel works to to keep its networks and services secure, which is very very important.
So NCIPC actually has started this task of tagging the national assets, and our network is now CII, critical infrastructure.
Oh,
So NCIPC mandate is to identify the national critical assets, and since network is important piece, so we have been branded or tagged as a CII. So our responsibility of cyber security on the network has grown up after this tagging. We have multi-tiered approach on the security front, wherein we not only see that what threats are coming from other parts of the world, we also do hunting in dark web, what is being talked about. We also do a lot of smart analysis on the logs piece. We are now segregating our internet from the MPLS backbone, trans telecom backbone, to keep it more safer. And since we are serving a lot of security agencies and the other agencies which are also very sensitive, they also keep us on toes to stay safe and stay secure. So on the security piece, we keep an eye, and we also see our ranking. There are agencies who are ranking how much secure you are. See, actions you can take anything, but until those actions convert into numbers, it
right.
does not have a meaning. So personally, I'm a number-driven guy, so I always say that we might have put a lot of firewalls in security systems, but what market is saying about it?
Correct.
What customers are saying about it? What a regulator is saying about it? So there's a lot of stuff which we have done in last 9-10 months, and I remember that there was a ranking wherein we were highlighted as not a secure network, and we were
Interesting.
in top 5 unsecured network.
Wow.
But now we are at close to 21, and our IP numbers, those are gone from the security framework. we are called as a safe, secure network. I always attach actions to numbers. So that's very important so that it tells you the story further. We
Yes.
are now doing some experiment on the AI use on the cybersecurity because cybersecurity is something where manual intervention alone is not sufficient. If the attack is happening through AI, the response also has to be done through AI. You can't take hours and days to
Right.
respond to
Right.
that. Apart from those, we do a lot of audits, third-party audits, and have close observations on those audits that what actions we have to take. So it's a not single approach; it's a
Correct.
multi-faceted, multi-dimensional approach
Correct.
where you have to take a lot of actions.
Right. And then regularly keep a check on
It's a
yourself as well.
continuous exercise.
It is. It is indeed.
There's no milestone. It's a continuous day in day out exercise.
I agree. I agree. And since you mentioned AI, how do you see AI helping RailTel and the public sector in the coming years? I mean, that's a topic which we can't really, stay away from.
In fact, I came to public sector in 2016.
Okay.
So before that, I was all along in the private
In the
sector.
private sector. Wow.
So I see that AI has more potential in public sector and competencies as compared to private, because the efficiencies on which people work, the kind of governance under which we work, the kind of regulation under which we work, require a lot of automation.
It does.
By a simple manual intervention, those regulations, compliances are not enough. So the kind of intervention which AI can have into our system, process, and capability building. Capacity building is another exercise which we have to do continuously. So I see a lot of potential, but as I was mentioning that the security surveillance is going to change once you start doing fusion of CCTV footages along with APIs from mobile operators or APIs from social media operators. The fusion always creates more value. I always say that 1 plus 1 is much greater than 2.
That's right.
So, how do you create such fusions? How do you ensure intervention of AI in those areas where silo is not working?
Correct.
And you need a lot of automations
Yes.
to improve the efficiency, to improve the agility, to improve the security, to find out the gaps in your revenue processes and all. So those things are must, and there I think AI is going to help us like anything.
I think I agree. I agree with you on that as well. At the same time, sir, we being a a knowledge platform building company as well, we also see a lot of PSUs who are talking that they are undergoing digital transformation, which is a need of the hour, right? Now, RailTel as a DNA has been one PSU who has been around this kind of work. So, as a director of such an esteemed PSU in this sector, what advice you would give to those organizations that are in middle or of this journey or they're beginning this journey?
I always believe that charity begins from home. So the any lesson if you want to teach others or any knowledge you want to give it to others, first you have to adopt,
Right.
use it, evolve it, transform it, and then sell it. That has always been a concept with me personally. If you see our journey is also that way, wherein we adopted a lot of technologies and then started selling in the
I'm
market.
sure.
To the other PSUs or government agencies, I always say that the digital transformation is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not a ROI based project, and it's a continuous journey. You may have milestones, but there's no end to it,
Correct.
because the technology will always keep you on toes. If you do something, there's something more is going to evolve, and we have seen in last 2 3 years actually how we are evolving so fast.
Right. Especially post COVID.
Typically, the mindset that technology is only there for the technology project or some pain areas. The intervention which technology brings to the process and systems is something very different. For example, if you see the paperless e-office, we are now serving 200 plus agencies across country through our data centers on the e-office. So that means
Wow.
paperless government office. And you clearly have that who has got file till what time kind of thing in a digital dashboard.
Right.
Imagine those things are not feasible in the physical file movement. You can send file from here to Jammu, here to Chandigarh. You can't send physical file. Kind of.
Correct.
So those transformation up, if you attach ROI to it, it's very difficult. Our telepresence service is very famous in various government agencies. There are many inaugurations which are done by our Honorable Minister as well as Honorable Prime Minister are happening on our telepresence system.
Wow.
Through remote. There was a time when people used to travel to Delhi to attend those programs.
Correct. That's correct.
Now imagine the
Yes.
kind of carbon footprint you are saving.
Indeed.
through remote video conferencing and all. So there are a lot of indirect benefits are there.
Very minute but impactful as well.
Exactly. Today being what Paryavaran Divas is there today.
Oh.
So I think we have to save something. We have to do our bit to transform the way we work.
Right.
In terms of how much we can do towards those environment.
For the next generation. Really impressive, sir. Moving on, I think as we were discussing before starting this dialogue, that RailTel works with a lot of other government organizations, bodies, PSUs as well, right? Now, cloud and data center services, they've been becoming increasingly important as a lot of offices works and accumulate huge amount of data, gigantic, right? So how is RailTel really supporting these entities, in this area, in the government organizations specifically, if we talk about?
See, off late for last couple of months or couple of years also, this sovereignty is being talked about left and right.
Indeed, yes.
So RailTel also has played its own role in trying to retain the data within the country, because once it goes to the public cloud, we are not sure where the data is going. We are not sure who is leveraging what. So that way, we are serving to almost 220 plus organizations who are hosting various their IT instances with us. Most of them are under managed services, and we have 2 data centers. Both are Tier 3 certified in Gurgaon and Secunderabad. We are in making our Noida data center up in next 2 months of time. It will be 10 megawatt to start with by end of this year, and 30 megawatt will be total capacity, which can be further extended.
Yep.
We also tied up with 3 more large data center infrastructure providers and earmarked those racks wherein we have to expand, because the data center requirement is coming in a very different fashion. Unlike telecom, somebody calls up and saying that in next 1 month time I need 100 racks. Now you can't create 100 racks. So a lot of collab is happening in that space also, wherein the large data center infrastructure providers are giving you racks. The compute, the storage, the network, the firewall, the security, everything will come from the third party. We are also expanding our edge data centers to 100 odd instances across country. And virtually we are trying to see DC at 2 places to DC anywhere. So edge data center has got very important role to play in terms of giving low latency figures, not only for entertainment and gaming, but even for things like surveillance systems, security systems, where the latency of the network is going to impact services. Those applications have to be hosted in edges only actually. And India being a developing country, still we have a lot of projects going on the train infrastructure, track infrastructure, as well as road infrastructure. So the OFC cut happens every day.
Happens every day, yeah.
how much resiliency you can give, how much protection you can give. Ultimately, data has to be closer to the customers.
Correct.
So that's what we are trying to do. And as and when the requirements are coming, we are also forcing something. But as and when the requirements are coming, we're ready to serve to any agency. Uh, we are also expanding into Hyderabad, one more data centers coming up. And as I mentioned, the revenue part of DC, because DC is seen as a DC, but DC has many applications. For example, Aadhaar authentication is now de facto standard in all the exams,
That's
all
right.
the big exams, and we are leading that space. So we are there into IT JEE, IT mains. We are there into Navodaya Vidyalaya exams. We are there into NEET. We are into state level exams also. UP Police is doing a mass recruitment, wherein last year, last 2 years, 2 years back, it was 38 lakh people which appeared in exams. So all those 1200 centers need to be under CCTV surveillance with
Correct.
Aadhaar authentication, with iris authentication also now. They've gone from POS to iris authentication. All they are supported from data center services because the Aadhaar authentication happens through data center. Aadhaar authentication and network connectivity together is giving us a good edge in terms of the other silo service providers.
And that is just one of the examples.
Yeah.
Highly impressive, sir. As you also mentioned, and I think that was again one topic that we were discussing prior to the podcast, was collaboration as a DNA of RailTel. Has been there, and since you've been, I think you've spent almost a decade long journey with the organization. Now, how important you feel collaboration is to be there between the government, the PSU, technology companies, in driving such kind of an innovation, especially in a country like India.
I think digital India, to me, it is yet to arrive. We have seen the success story of UPI. We have seen the success story of Aadhaar. Maybe we can see the success story of Bharat Taxi also. So it looks to me that digital India is yet into the transformation phase.
You still think it's not there?
It has not reached to that level of maturity.
Okay.
The challenge with the multifaceted, multi-threaded digital India project is that I do not think any single entity can claim that they are the major stakeholders or major partners for
That's
this.
right.
There are many threads attached to it, and everybody is playing its own role in terms of digital India. So the only success which can be ensured is through collaboration. For example, Aadhaar authentication cannot happen from UIDI data center alone until the connectivity is there. For example, if there is no private service provider, those machines which are giving thumb impression, it cannot travel into
Cannot
network.
travel, yes.
It cannot hit to UIDI network. So everything is collab.
Correct.
And the ICT space, the collab is the only way through which you can grow and you can have 1 + 1 more than 2.
That's how you can achieve it. Well, that's a very rebellious thought, but I think it's an interesting point of view that the digital transformation is yet to happen. I think let's look forward to that. We all look forward to that. Now we've spoken about what has happened in the past so far, and how we have arrived where we are as of now. Let's explore your mind a little bit towards the future side, right? So, what technology trends do you think will have the biggest impact on India over the next 5 years or a 10 years time? I know 5 years for a country like India is very short, but what kind of trends do you see can make really strong impact?
On the sector specific, personally, if you ask me, I see education and health. These two sectors have not seen greater push from any corner of the world.
This I agree.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you see the quality of education which is happening at elementary level in rural areas, So how do you ensure that those guys go beyond their poverty line? How do you ensure that they are digitally empowered
Exactly.
later on until they go through that journey?
Starts from education.
Yeah. So the stuff, the educational stuff, the quality of the education imparted to them, I think they need serious intervention from government side also. Because until unless you evolve them, you involve them into a journey of digital India, the real growth story will not happen.
That's right.
So it's very important. Similarly, on the health side, AI or any technology intervention on the health side, I think it's required because the kind of doctors which are available to metros, they are not available in non-metros
On
or
metros.
metros. How will they, those citizens, get help? I was reading an article wherein Northeast people spend much more money on travel than on medical health. And it's multiplied. It's a multiplication factor
It does.
because they need to travel to very far off areas. So medical bills
Get
are
some
less,
medical aid.
the
Yeah.
travel is very high.
Wow.
Now until unless we reach out, again last mile comes actually.
That's right.
Until unless we reach out to those areas, if not through physical presence of doctors and surgery and all, at least remotely. So UPI kind of jadoo requires there also actually.
I agree. I
So
agree.
education and health I clearly see. On the technology piece, I see that interestingly the OT is very important. Everybody talks about cyber security, but the OT is not talked about in public. So OT is related to your critical infra, for example, refineries, gas pipelines, power grids, state grids, and the kind of knowledge which they have is below par. So they are not sure, or since the digitization has not happened, something which is not visible, which is not meeting eyes, we don't know what's happening there.
Correct.
To me, OT looks much bigger than cybersecurity issue. In past couple of months, we have seen the bloodless coup happening through OT only. Actually. I cannot quote the incident here, but until as you save your infrastructure, the refineries or pipelines, or
Yes.
your you have a big trouble actually later on. So OT is where the focus should be there. Of course, cybersecurity. So AI is going to help on all the sectors in terms of whether we can do smartly in more agile manner, with less cost effective manner and all actually. So these are some of the thoughts which I have on personal.
I think you actually touched base on two very, very key aspects that kind of touch base, not just certain part of the country's geography, but actually at a mass. So education and healthcare is something definitely. I think we as a company we've been working. I think in these sectors very slightly, very not a very huge amount, but the amount of learning that we have also achieved, it does tell us that education definitely I think
Very
is
different. In
required.
fact, I was talking to few startups on this topic. Is that see if you see human mind, uh, often we get uh, memory or we retain memory of the faces, images, videos,
Yes,
but the text is not remembered properly.
correct.
Often we see faces, names are not known, forgotten kind
It's
of thing.
mostly the visuals.
Imagine if a biology is being taught in a school in a visual form, in a video form,
Correct.
the kind of impact it will have on children.
Right.
Imagine if the importance of sanitation is taught through
Through visual
videos,
aspects.
the
Correct.
impact is much larger.
Yes.
So I think those are the areas where the technology can be very helpful and very cost effective manner.
Cost effective as well.
If somebody comes up with the NLP kind of UI, wherein I type that I need to give a presentation to my kids, to children, on sanitation for half an hour, bring all the videos on the screen, on the so-called smart classrooms.
That's right.
the kind of impact it will have on the children.
And
Is
something that is possible
very
today.
sweeping impact.
It is
So
possible
there the
to this time.
technology is there
Right.
to help us out.
And it is yet to
Wiring
be
up through fiber, through cameras, through TVs is not going to help until you see the content.
content.
So content, everybody knows that. Until the content comes, everything is electronics.
Correct. No, very, very impressive. Moving ahead, Manoj, I think let's try to understand you and learn something from you from beyond RailTel's perspective. Now you've been, we can call you like a veteran in this industry, right? Not just the PSU. Uh, what kind of lessons or leadership lessons would you suggest have they've helped you in managing such large scale projects? And I'm sure you've handled large team sizes as well. So what kind of those lessons would you suggest that have helped you in your career?
I think ownership and collab, these are the two very important things, because until unless you own the things, you do a collaborative spirit at leadership level, you can't drive your teams. The ownership
That's
cannot
right.
be taught to somebody. Ownership has to be exercised.
Right.
The collab has to be exercised. So these two are very important traits, and I always believe strongly in those traits. That until unless you own the mission critical projects. Incidentally, I was handling the entire G20 from RailTel,
Oh wow.
and it was so crucial for government, for MEA, for the world.
That's right.
It was at a time when I was handling almost 9 ministries together.
And that's not an easy task.
Yeah, so a lot of things of G20 are not in public forum. So we had to do collab with biggies like Jio, Airtel, and all actually. They were behind us.
Oh,
We had to do collab with MHA. We had to do collab with Delhi Police. We faced a lot of security agencies which are not known in public forum.
right.
So we had to face, we had to satisfy, we had to do collab with all those guys. So those kind of mission critical projects need strong ownership and collaborative.
I think I agree with you on that. As we come closer to the end of this discussion, very interesting discussion, Manoj, if you could identify one key area that a country like India should focus on while strengthening its digital future, right? What would that be? What?
Capacity building. Until unless we educate people well, we train them well, we'll have a strong void,
Right.
very, very strong void. So the capacity building is the only program which can be driven across sectors. And there the education, there the science intervention, AI intervention is required. And we see the kind of soft skills people have now. We see the kind of knowledge people have.
Yes.
Everybody is getting knowledge only from internet. Everybody is talking to Claude or Open Chat GPT and all.
That's right. Yes.
Now we have to give a structure to it. So until unless the capacity building program is worked out, it's very difficult to move forward, to leap forward.
Correct. You can create infrastructure as much as you can, but again,
Yes.
the capacity building has to be there to really cash it out as well.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to know. Thanks a lot, Mr. Tandon. Thanks a lot for your insights. For I think a lot of things that you have just mentioned in the discussion have been really eye opening for us.
I think
Just
everybody should carry this thought that in whatever role he or she is, she or he has to make a difference.
right.
And I always have this bad habit of challenging status quo. In typical government setup, people explore that what happened earlier, what is the precedence, and I always question the precedence. But I always believe that what brought you here will not take you there.
Right.
So until unless we all questioning the systems, questioning the status quo, will not evolve.
Will not. Yes.